Hello everyone, my name is Ariela, and I'm going to be speaking about this week's Parasha, which as you guys all know is Tetsave. So this week's Parasha, the main topic is God is instructing Moshe without actually mentioning his name, which is a whole nother thing, about the anointing of his brother Aharon as the Kohen Gadol and Aharon's children as the Kohanim, and about how to anoint them and what exactly should go into the service of the Mishkan and the Mizbeach and the Ketoret. And there's just a lot of technical specifications. And an obvious question is, why so many details? Why is this so important? And also, why wouldn't it, why does God's house need to be so beautiful? And not just that, why so specific? And I think a natural assumption that we probably would have based on religions around the world and temples around the world is that we want to make this beautiful to show our God that he deserves the best of the best, right? But in Judaism, that we don't really, God can't enjoy anything. God doesn't, it doesn't do anything for God that we're we're making your house really gold and shiny, because God doesn't have feelings. He doesn't actually care about it. And so I was thinking about this a lot, and then I came across the Moreh Nevuchim. In the Moreh Nevuchim, the Rambam explains that, he says, well, why was there the Ketoret? Why was this? And he speaks about a bunch of different things. And for example, the Ketoret, the reason for the Ketoret was so that it should smell nice, right? Because, you have all these dead animals. Obviously, it's not going to be a nice smell. But that the only associations that people should have with God's house are positive associations. And not only should we have positive associations with the Mishkan, but also that we should have unique associations with the Mishkan. So, for example, with the Ketoret, nobody is allowed to use the Ketoret you're not allowed to use that smell, that unique combination, anywhere outside of the context of the Mikdash, and you're not allowed to burn anything else. And this is actually, for any of us, psychologically speaking, biologically speaking, your olfactory senses, your sense of smell is the strongest trigger for positive memories, and it's the strongest trigger in general from all of our senses. That it brings back memories the strongest. And so it's interesting, the Rambam says that our only association with this smell should be the Mikdash, and that we should learn that the people should smell this and automatically know, be filled with awe for God and humility, and be aware of their place in the world and what they should be doing, and all of the things that these feelings that we're supposed to get from the Mishkan. And beyond that, in general, the Mishkan was an intense and engulfing multi-sensory experience, I guess you could say. Everything was visually beautiful. It smelled beautiful. There were the sounds of the Leviim singing. Everything was very, very clean. There were strict rules about who could enter, and not only because of Tum'ah and Tehara, also because of literal cleanliness, and also because of respectable clothing. You couldn't go into the Mishkan if you were wearing torn clothes, to the area of the Mishkan. If you were wearing torn clothes, you couldn't come close to it. And there were guards patrolling to make sure that this place was separate. And it's interesting, this idea of what the Mishkan is supposed to mean for us as Jewish people, and what it's supposed to do for us as Bnei Israel, our interaction with the Mishkan. And another thing that I found interesting was that I came across a commentary on the bells. So on the Me'il of the Kohen Gadol, there's supposed to be pomegranates. So there's a debate about whether or not the pomegranates and bells on the bottom of the Me'il are supposed to be separate or one. So either it's supposed to be like a pomegranate then a bell, then a pomegranate then a bell, or it's supposed to be a pomegranate with a bell inside of it. But either way, there's a Parshan, a Yemeni Parshan by the name of Sa'adia al-Nadaf. I just wanted to look at this so that I can read it to you. Anyway, Mari Sa'adia al-Nadaf was born in Yemen in 1867. And I'm just going to read you it's a really short paragraph, so I'll read it in Hebrew and then translate it. V'zeu pamon zahav, and this golden bell. Gold is not known as a metal that makes a lot of noise when a vessel that's made from it. It makes a low noise, like it's not clinky. Uvazav, because it's a soft metal. Uvazav nimshalu talmidei chachamim, and to gold talmidei chachamim are compared. Mazav hu hamatechet hameula mikol hamatachot. It's just like gold is the greatest of all metals. ככה, תלמיד חכם צריך שיהיה מעולה מכל בני אדם. In the same way, התלמיד חכם should be greater than all men. ומה זהב אינו קול נשמע. And in the same way that the zahav does not make a lot of noise, that the gold is quiet. ככה, תלמיד חכם צריך שתהיה תורתו בנחת. In the same way that תלמיד חכם, his Torah should be with נחת, which I don't have to translate. וכמו שכתוב, and like it says, דברי, and as it is written, sorry. Divrei Chachamim benachat nishmaim. The words of Chachamim are heard with nachat. That's a quote from Kohelet. V'lo yeh kapdan k'sheshalim oto. And he shouldn't be a kapdan, which is like, we also know this word from Perkei Avot. It's like, lo kapdan melamed. That he shouldn't be easy to anger. He shouldn't be a stickler. He shouldn't be annoyed. He should be like all of those, quick to anger is basically the main thing with being a kapdan, like impatient almost. And he shouldn't be like that when a kapdan, when he's asked a question. And his response should be given with yeshuva dat, which dato miyushevet alav. It means like he should be calm, cool, collected, calculated, aware of the surroundings and aware of how he's coming across, etc. So that his words actually go into the ears of the people who ask, which is obviously the goal. And if he does so, then he will be full of Torah like the rimon. So anyway, I thought that was a nice connection between the rimon and the gold. Why specifically gold and why rimon? And anyways, yeah, sorry if this was too long. Shabbat shalom, and see you next week.